The intricate dynamics of reality TV often mirror the complexities of real life, and American Pickers is no exception. With the amusing and mysterious cast at the helm of the show, American Pickers has continued to captivate and intrigue its audience. However, beneath the on-screen banter and negotiations,
So you want to go down this way?
Hey, wherever
Or do you want to go
take
in
us?
You know, we're not even picking yet, and I'm exhausted.
lies the intricate web of real relationships, the pressures of fame, and personal battles. What are the highs and lows of the relationships between the cast on this remarkable show? Join us as we delve into American Pickers, the cast's relationships behind the scene, and why Frank Fritz was canceled. The famous cast of the American Pickers show. American Pickers, a show that presented a fresh take on the timeless saying, "One man's trash is another man's treasure," wasn't merely an entertainment program. It was an expedition into forgotten barns, dilapidated attics, and dusty basements throughout the country. In these obscure places, relics of the past were uncovered, each possessing historical significance and often a surprising monetary value. Viewers were given a glimpse into the nostalgic world of antique picking, an art that involved scouring through items that others might overlook and identifying those with potential value. At the core of this captivating show were its protagonists, Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz. Their on-screen camaraderie, coupled with their extensive knowledge of a wide range of antiques, kept audiences hooked. The thrill of the hunt added an extra layer of excitement. What made their dynamic even more engaging was the authentic bond they shared, a friendship that traced back to their school days, providing a genuine foundation for their on-screen interactions. Mike, with his keen eye for treasures and jovial nature, perfectly complemented Frank's more grounded approach. While Mike reveled in the historical narratives behind the items, Frank astutely focused on their potential resale value. Their banter, lighthearted and occasionally peppered with disagreements, was relatable and endeared them to the audience, portraying a genuine representation of friendships where differences in personalities and viewpoints coexist without overriding the bond. Also, Mike Wolfe's knack for picking isn't just a talent, it's a skill honed over years of practice. His journey into the world of picking began in his childhood, fueled by a passion for all things considered junk. His early venture into the world of picking can be traced back to his youth when he stumbled upon an old bike. Turning this discovery into a business opportunity, he sold the bike for a modest sum of $5. This seemingly simple transaction marked the beginning of Wolfe's fascination with uncovering hidden treasures. As he delved deeper into the world of picking, Wolfe's skills evolved and his ventures became more ambitious. An interesting chapter in his early picking days involves a bicycle purchase from a farmer for $50. What might seem like a significant investment at the time turned into a lucrative deal when Wolfe successfully sold the bicycle for an impressive $5,000. Adding another layer to the show was Danielle Colby Cushman, the behind-the-scenes powerhouse ensuring the smooth running of the picks. Danielle scouted locations, contacted potential leads, and managed the logistics of each pick. With her vibrant personality, tattoo-clad appearance, and deep knowledge of the picking business, she brought fresh energy to the show, acting as a bridge between the viewers and the picking world. Danielle's role wasn't merely that of an enabler for Mike and Frank's journeys. She was an integral part of the American Pickers team, highlighting the essential role of research and networking in the success of any pick. The show itself offered a refreshing departure from typical reality TV narratives, combining elements of history, business, and travel. Each episode became an adventure, with Mike and Frank navigating the vast American landscape, knocking on doors, and diving into heaps of what many would consider junk. Yet, in these heaps, they unearthed not only objects but also stories of the people who owned them. These narratives provided a rich tapestry of American history, from its industrial past to personal memories of wars, economic ups and downs, and cultural shifts. American Pickers, as it progressed, did more than just entertain. It educated and reminded viewers of a simpler time, evoking a sense of nostalgia. It underscored the importance of preserving history not only in textbooks or museums, but also in the everyday items that once held significance in someone's life. The strain of popularity on the cast. As we know, reality television often highlights glamour and allure, but it often casts a shadow over the intense pressures and challenges that come with being constantly in the limelight. American Pickers was no exception. As the popularity of the show soared, the behind-the-scenes strains began to weigh heavily on its stars, especially Frank Fritz. Viewers saw the adventurous trips, fascinating finds, and playful banter between Mike and Frank. But beneath the on-screen camaraderie were grueling workdays, a demanding travel schedule, and the incessant gaze of enthusiastic and sometimes intrusive fans. The shooting schedule was intense, distilling days of effort into a few minutes of television. The crew's workdays sometimes extended to 16 to 18 hours, starting as early as 3:30 or 4 in the morning. This relentless rhythm left little room for personal time or rest. The act of traveling, involving staying at different hotels in various areas almost every night, added another layer of exhaustion. Frank, in particular, felt the weight of this newfound attention. His natural inclination towards privacy seemed at odds with the show's outgoing style. In 2012, he described his experience at Fry Fest, an event that attracted numerous fans, as overwhelming. The thin line between public recognition and personal space was increasingly blurred. While the love and admiration from fans were gratifying, the constant scrutiny and lack of anonymity began to take a toll. With fame came the magnification of personal moments. Every action, every decision, and every mistake were under the microscope. Frank, known for his private nature, began to feel the weight of this exposure, leading to his departure from social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram, an attempt to reclaim some semblance of personal space. While social media provides an avenue for stars to connect with their fans, it can also be an intense arena of scrutiny for Frank. These platforms, instead of being tools of outreach, became extensions of the ever-watchful eyes that he so dearly wished to evade. Frank's private nature wasn't merely a reaction to fame, but seemed rooted in his personality. He expressed that being in the spotlight was never a long-term aspiration. There's a certain irony in the fact that a man who sought treasures from the past felt overwhelmed by the present's constant attention. Frank often alluded to the idea of returning to a life of simplicity, of just being Frank once the show concluded. This sentiment is also reflected in his continued residence in the same house he had lived in for 25 years and his attachment to his 1986 Ford Ranger. However, the complexities of life under the spotlight weren't limited to Frank alone. The entire crew of American Pickers grappled with the effects of stardom. The overwhelming fan following meant that they were recognized almost everywhere, leading to disruptions during shoots, unsolicited interactions, and sometimes challenging situations. In the end, the reality TV paradigm, as exciting as it may seem, comes with its set of pressures. It's a world where the boundaries between personal and public are thin, and maintaining equilibrium becomes challenging. Frank Fritz's experiences on American Pickers provide a candid glimpse into the dichotomy of reality TV. While it offers fame, recognition, and the opportunity to pursue one's passion, it simultaneously extracts a price in terms of personal space, privacy, and mental well-being. Frank Fritz's personal and legal challenges. In addition to his battle with privacy, Frank Fritz also has some valleys of personal challenges. A significant dip in his public life revolved around the legal troubles he faced. These episodes shed light on the immense pressures of living under the microscope and the implications of the consequent choices. One of the initial legal run-ins that grabbed public attention was related to traffic violations. While traffic offenses might seem trivial for the average person, for someone like Frank with a high public profile, they quickly became fodder for headlines and a topic of debate among fans and critics alike. The infractions ranged from speeding to irregularities in vehicle registrations, painting a picture of a man struggling not only with the confines of regulation in his personal life, but also with the constraints of fame. However, it was the DUI, or driving under the influence charge, that became the most talked about episode in Frank's legal saga. This incident unfortunately reinforced a narrative around the perils of celebrity lifestyles and the traps they sometimes fall into. With intoxication levels reported to be significantly over the legal limit, it was clear that Frank had not only jeopardized his own life, but also the lives of others on the road. The incident fueled debates and discussions on public platforms, with many expressing their disappointment, while others showed compassion and concern for the man they had grown to admire on American pickers. The DUI episode became a domino effect, leading to deeper scrutiny and revelations. As the media dug deeper, more stories and allegations began to surface. The narrative that emerged was multidimensional, illustrating a man battling personal demons and struggling with the suffocation of fame. The discrepancies in the stories that came to light were particularly intriguing. Various accounts painted varying degrees of severity regarding Frank's actions and intentions. Some claimed it was a one-off lapse of judgment, while others hinted at a pattern of reckless behavior. The truth, as is often the case in such situations, seemed mired in a haze of half-truths, speculations, and interpretations. Frank's defense, on the other hand, was rooted in a plea for understanding and compassion. His legal team and close allies worked diligently to emphasize that, like any human, Frank had his moments of weakness. They spoke of the pressures he was under and how the constant scrutiny was taking a toll on his mental and emotional well-being. They argued that the DUI incident, while inexcusable, was more of a cry for help than anything else. Frank Fritz's legal troubles presented a dichotomy all too familiar in the realm of celebrities. On one side stood a man with all his flaws and vulnerabilities trying to navigate the choppy waters of fame. On the other were the expectations and judgments of a society that often oscillates between adulation and condemnation. How the firework incident affected Frank's public image. Frank Fritz's life is indeed filled with antiques and adventures, and it took an unpredictable turn with an incident colloquially termed the firework incident. This event, coupled with his turbulent relationship with Diane Bankson, his girlfriend at the time, served as an emblematic reminder that, while some antiquities may age gracefully over time, personal histories might bear scars that don't always fade. Frank and Diane's relationship was a mosaic of passion, tension, and moments that oscillated between sheer happiness and stark discord. Their connection, much like the items Frank often encountered, was vintage, a blend of beauty and imperfections. Diane, with her vivacious spirit, was the perfect foil to Frank's more introverted disposition. They were often seen as the embodiment of the old adage, opposites attract. However, like many relationships beneath the surface, there were undercurrents of strain. It was against this backdrop that the firework incident occurred. An evening meant for celebration took a dangerous turn when a firework was negligently handled, leading to significant property damage and minor injuries to those present. The fallout was immediate and widespread, casting a long shadow over Frank's public image. Details of the incident became a hot topic in the media. Reports stated that the firework, intended to light up the sky, instead ignited nearby objects, causing a fire that was challenging to contain. Whispers began to circulate that Frank's recklessness was to blame. The fact that this happened in the presence of close friends and family only added fuel to the speculative fire. Diane was notably affected by the incident. Witnesses recalled the sheer panic and disbelief on her face as the flames leaped and danced. This event further exacerbated the strains in their relationship. Arguments over responsibility and accusations of negligence became frequent, casting a pall of gloom over their once radiant bond. In the midst of this, Diane's stance was keenly observed. Initially, she stood by Frank, defending him against the harshest of critics. But as days turned to weeks, the strain began to show. Their public appearances grew infrequent, and when they did step out together, the chemistry that once sizzled between them seemed conspicuously absent. Whispers of an impending breakup began to circulate, further adding to the narrative of Frank's spiraling personal life. The firework incident ignited discussions on personal responsibility, the fragility of relationships under scrutiny, and the cost of fame. For Frank, it became a defining moment, a chapter in his life story that he would forever be asked to revisit and reflect upon. To say that this event solely contributed to the eventual cooling of Frank and Diane's relationship would be an oversimplification, but it undeniably played a part. The pressure, both external and internal, seemed to pry open existing cracks, making them wider and more evident. In the grand tapestry of Frank Fritz's life, the firework incident and its aftermath remain a stark reminder of the volatility of human relationships and the combustible nature of public perception. While some claim all of these occurrences are what caused him to be canceled from the American Pickers, further scrutiny has proved them wrong. Mike Wolf's life behind the camera. On the other side of the coin, Mike Wolf went through his personal challenges alongside his family. In September 2012, tied the knot with his longtime girlfriend, Jody Faith. The wedding was a significant event, coming years after their initial meeting back in 1994. Together, they welcomed a daughter named Charlie into the world. Tragically, in December 2013, Jody Faith faced a challenging battle when she was diagnosed with stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Despite leading a healthy lifestyle, including being vegan and exercising, she found herself grappling with this unexpected health crisis. The journey through cancer was undoubtedly tough, but in May 2014, Jody shared the relieving news that her cancer was in remission. This period of adversity, coupled with her resilience, shed light on the unpredictable nature of life's challenges. Adding to the complexities of the family's story, Charlie Faith Wolf, born just before her parents' marriage, faced her own health challenges. Born with a cleft lip and palate, Charlie needed specialized care, and Mike's financial capacity allowed him to ensure she received the necessary surgery. This experience led Mike Wolf to become an ambassador for Operation Smile, an organization providing free surgeries to children globally facing similar conditions. Mike's involvement highlights the impact of personal experiences on philanthropy, with his commitment extending beyond his own family. Beyond his personal life, Mike Wolf has also ventured into various entrepreneurial pursuits. In addition to investments in property and corporations, he expanded his store, Antique Archaeology, opening a second retail location. Furthermore, he entered the fashion industry with the launch of his own trendy fashion brand. Notably, Mike even pitched a scripted sitcom to television networks, envisioning a workplace comedy set in an antiques and collectibles shop. In 2021, his wife, Jody Faith, had divorced him, and Mike didn't let grass grow under his feet. He entered a new relationship with reality star Letitia Klein. The couple's public appearances, from customizing jackets in Norfolk, Virginia, to joining Pickers shoots in San Francisco and California, marked a new chapter for Mike. Letitia Klein, known for her roles in Beauty and the Geek, interviews for TNA Wrestling, and racy photo shoots for Playboy and Maxim, also brought a new dynamic to Mike's life. The twists and turns in Mike Wolf's personal life, from marriage and family challenges to health crises and new relationships, reflect the complexities of real-life journeys. Beyond the scripted narratives of reality television, Wolf's experiences illustrate the resilience required to navigate unexpected turns and the various avenues one can explore for personal growth and giving back to the community. Frank Fritz's disappearance from American Pickers. As the 10th anniversary of American Pickers show neared, viewers had grown accustomed to the engaging dynamics of Frank Fritz and Mike Wolf. Their on-screen camaraderie had become a staple of the show, and any alteration to that dynamic was almost unthinkable. Yet, as episodes in the early 2020 began airing, a conspicuous absence was hard to ignore. Frank Fritz, the jovial co-host, seemed to have vanished from the screen. The initial episodes without Fritz did not provide any direct explanation for his absence, leaving a Frank-shaped void that became increasingly obvious. The silence from the History Channel and the show's creators only deepened the mystery. In the age of instant communication, such a glaring omission was both unusual and unsettling. Social media quickly became abuzz with rumors and theories. Fans speculated about Fritz's health, which had been a topic of discussion in previous episodes, as a possible reason for his departure. Others questioned if the global pandemic had made it challenging for him to participate in the show's travels. The mystery surrounding Fritz's disappearance added an unexpected layer to the narrative of American Pickers, leaving viewers intrigued and eager for answers. Truly, Frank carried the weight of a personal battle that significantly influenced his life and participation in the show. It was his ongoing struggle with Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease, a chronic inflammatory bowel condition, presented Frank with a myriad of challenges both physically and emotionally. The disease is notorious for its unpredictability, with periods of remission juxtaposed against painful flare-ups. Managing this condition in the glare of the public eye was an additional ordeal for Frank. Over the years, fans observed fluctuations in his weight, occasional absences from episodes, and subtle shifts in his energy levels. However, it wasn't just the physical aspects of the disease that left an impact. The medications prescribed for Crohn's, while alleviating some symptoms, came with their own set of side effects. Mood swings, changes in appetite, and sleep disturbances were among the challenges Frank had to navigate, adding another layer of complexity to his already demanding profession. Frank's transparency about his condition became an inspiration for many. His candid discussions demystified Crohn's disease for a broader audience and lent support to fellow sufferers. He became a beacon of hope, proof that despite the adversities the condition posed, one could still pursue their passions with fervor and enthusiasm. As seasons progressed, Frank's commitment to self-care became evident. He was open about the dietary changes he implemented, the importance of rest, and his regular medical checkups. He made it a point to educate the public on the importance of early detection and intervention. These adjustments, while necessary for his health, did lead to changes in the dynamics of the show. Episodes were often interspersed with moments of reflection, where Frank would share insights into his journey, turning the narrative from mere antique picking to a deeper exploration of human resilience. But then, Mike's concern for Frank's well-being, coupled with moments of light-hearted banter about his condition, have illustrated the depth of their bond. For audiences, it was a touching reminder that the show was not just about the antiques they discovered, but the relationships they nurtured. So, the absence of acknowledgement regarding Fritz's departure puzzled fans deeply, since he wasn't just a peripheral character. He was half of the show's heart. The lack of an official address to his absence felt like a disservice to the years of loyalty and affection invested by the viewers. Questions arose about whether there was more to the story than met the eye: a falling out, internal disputes, or an unexpected departure. Fans wondered if a decline in his health could be the reason behind his sudden exit, considering the demanding schedules of reality television. The next theory gaining traction was the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, the pandemic disrupted the world, imposing travel restrictions, safety protocols, and inherent risks that affected television productions. Fans theorized that Fritz, given his health condition, might have chosen to distance himself to ensure his safety. This theory was reinforced by the global concern around the pandemic and its impact on television production. Simultaneously, another rumor persisted, suggesting that Fritz had undergone back surgery around the time of his disappearance from the show. Surgery, coupled with the need for recovery, could indeed have mandated a hiatus. If true, it painted a picture of Fritz grappling with multiple health challenges, contributing to the enigma surrounding his sudden departure from American Pickers. In addition to dealing with Crohn's disease, undergoing back surgery, and navigating the challenges posed by the pandemic, the back surgery theory emerged as a source of comfort for fans. It seemed to provide a straightforward explanation, alleviating concerns about internal disputes or conflicts. However, as speculations often do, it introduced more questions than answers. Was the surgery planned or emergent? Was it successful? Would Frank Fritz be returning post-recovery? The fragmented nature of this information left fans craving more details. The collective uncertainty extended beyond the fan base, as media outlets, always on the lookout for intriguing stories, latched on to the mystery. Articles speculating on Fritz's disappearance circulated, presenting new theories, but none had concrete information. Why Frank Fritz left American Pickers. The clouds of uncertainty surrounding Fritz's departure began to disperse with an interview he conducted with The Sun. For the first time, fans were offered insights into the complexities behind the camera, the strain on long-standing friendships, and the unanticipated challenges that can arise from shared fame. Fritz confirmed one of the predominant theories. stating that he did indeed have back surgery after the shooting, coinciding with the onset of the pandemic. This revelation provided a degree of closure for fans concerned about his well-being, assuring them that his departure wasn't abrupt. As the interview progressed, it became evident that Fritz's departure went beyond health concerns. One of the most agitating revelations was the evident strain in his relationship with Mike Wolfe. Despite being friends for 4 decades, Fritz revealed that he hadn't talked to Mike in 2 years. This confession shocked many, presenting a stark contrast to the bond witnessed by fans for over a decade. Digging deeper into this rift, he hinted at feeling overshadowed, suggesting that the show was tilted towards Wolfe. The specifics of their disagreement remained undisclosed, but Fritz's pain was palpable. Fritz's sentiment of being more of a regular old guy seemed to reflect a longing for a simpler time before fame complicated their dynamic. His reflections on Wolfe's actions, or rather the lack thereof, hinted at a profound sense of betrayal and hurt. He expressed bewilderment, not understanding why Wolfe was behaving in such a way towards him. This painted a picture of unresolved conflict and miscommunication, emphasizing the depth of their estrangement. The pressures of fame can strain even the strongest of bonds, bringing to the surface underlying insecurities and differences. As American Pickers evolved, Frank Fritz began to sense a distinct tilt towards his co-host, Mike Wolfe. His perception of being the regular old guy compared to Wolfe's more pronounced presence hinted at an imbalance that went beyond professional grievances. It became deeply personal, intricately tied to their long-standing relationship. While the nuances of their falling out weren't explicitly detailed by Fritz, his revelations provided glimpses into the complexities. The sentiment of being overshadowed suggested a longing for acknowledgement and equality. What might have started as a minor disagreement or feelings of neglect could have snowballed over time. The dynamics of fame are tricky, and what one person views as a slight oversight can be seen as an occupational hazard by another. Television production intricacies often prioritize certain narratives or characters for reasons like audience preference or branding decisions. Yet when real-life friendships are involved, such decisions take on a deeper emotional resonance. Fritz may have felt not only sidelined as a co-host, but also as a friend. Fame has a unique way of reframing relationships, blurring the lines between the authentic self and the public persona. The constant scrutiny and the need to perpetuate a certain image began to permeate their personal dynamics. Every decision, from episode edits to publicity campaigns, became potential points of contention. Moreover, fame often breeds isolation. As the world watches and weighs in on every action, the safe space of close relationships becomes even more critical. For Fritz and Wolfe, this sanctuary seemed to erode. During Fritz's health challenges, the expected support and empathy from Wolfe appeared lacking. Such pivotal moments, when viewed through the lens of fame, can often lead to increased feelings of abandonment. Another notable aspect of Frank's health journey has been his substantial weight loss, shedding 65 pounds. This transformation, making headlines, underscores his determination to prioritize health and well-being. Post-American Pickers, he has found the time and space to reflect, rejuvenate, and recalibrate. Stepping away from the relentless schedule and public scrutiny of the limelight, he appears to be focusing on his health. However, this hiatus is not without its distinction. Frank's expressed desire to return to the show hints at a deep connection he feels with American Pickers. For him, those 11 years were not just a professional commitment, they represented a significant portion of his life. American Pickers wasn't merely a job, it was a passion, a mission, and a platform. The beginning of the end for American Pickers. As the curtains have now fallen on Frank's journey with the show, speculation arose about the potential involvement of Mike Wolfe's brother, Robbie Wolfe. Such rumors, typical in the world of TV and celebrities, gained quick traction. Fans pondered whether Robbie would step in to fill the void left by Fritz, offering a familiar face and perhaps preserving some of the camaraderie that defined the show. Frank Fritz himself weighed in, suggesting that Mike might want his brother Robbie to replace him. This potential move would introduce an element of family connection and the challenges of reshaping an established show dynamic. However, As the rumors circulated, TMZ reported that the show's producers had no plans to bring Robbie into the mix. This trajectory left American pickers venturing into unknown territory without Fritz or another wolf by Mike's side. Fans, who had been on this journey for years, reacted with a spectrum of emotions. Social media platforms became arenas for discussions, debates, and expressions of both support and discontent. Some fans pledged loyalty to the show, eager to see its evolution and willing to embrace change. Others expressed a sense of loss, reminiscing about the golden days with Fritz and Wolf working together, their banter, and their unique friendship. Some even declared discontinuing viewership, highlighting Fritz's deep-rooted connection with the audience. A notable aspect was the unity among fans expressing concerns, wishes, and predictions. Whether on dedicated Facebook fan pages or Twitter threads, the American Pickers community showcased its investment in the show's past, present, and future. The future of American Pickers now hangs in the balance. With over a decade of airtime, the show has carved a niche in the hearts of its audience, and the synergy between Fritz and Wolf has been a significant pillar of its success. As one of those pillars was removed, the foundation of the show is facing a crucial test. The TV show started facing a decline in ratings over several months. Weeks passed, and a new episode didn't hit the airwaves. And amidst this hiatus, cast and crew members are branching out into other projects. These developments are raising significant hints that the future of the show might be in jeopardy. The decline in ratings could be attributed to various factors, including changes in viewer preferences, evolving trends in the television landscape, or even the absence of key cast members. Shows often rely on consistent audience engagement, and a prolonged drop in ratings can be a red flag for its sustainability. Moreover, the absence of new episodes for weeks could signal production challenges or strategic decisions by the network. In the fast-paced world of television, breaks in the airing schedule can impact the momentum of a show and, in turn, influence its viewership. As cast and crew members explore other projects, it's a common occurrence in the industry for professionals to diversify their portfolios. However, when key team members start to take on different projects simultaneously, it can indicate a lack of commitment to the current show. This dispersion of talent can be detrimental to the cohesion and quality of the production. The growing clues about the potential cancellation of the show might be inferred from the combination of these factors. While networks and production teams often keep their cards close to their chest, patterns such as declining ratings, production hiatus, and cast diversification can be indicative of an impending decision to end a show. While the situation might seem uncertain for the current show, it's essential to remember that the world of television is dynamic. New opportunities and creations are always on the horizon, and the end of one show often marks the beginning of another. Now we understand the contribution of friendship to the events and circumstances leading to the significant shift in the American Pickers narrative. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.